Sister Circle, yeah. Sister Circle, screaming out. Sister Circle, yeah. Sister Circle, screaming out. Screaming out.
Between a rock and a hard place, looking for somewhere to call a safe space, where women crowd around and say it's okay. They all about their action, so they gon' pray.
Good morning, sisters. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. We are excited this morning. Well, I'm excited this morning because this is my last day nudging, and I'm ready to be back on the other side of the comments, chatting and typing on my phone while I'm finishing my workout with all of my sisters and kikiing. And no one can lead a good kiki like our circle pastor. I don't have that gift. Y'all forgive me. But I am excited. It's Friday. We are at the end of another week of our magnificent journey that we've been on in this study around the Shunammite woman. And I don't know about you. I have enjoyed being able to dig into the word with all of you. I've enjoyed everything that Pastor shared with us last week. And there's just so much there. There's so much richness in the text. And I don't know what our pastor's coming back with, but I'm just going to tell you now. Put on your seatbelts. No, actually, don't put on your seatbelts because you're going to probably need to run around the room, all those things, all right? But happy Friday, happy direct deposit day, as we call it in the circle, all those things, right? We are almost to the weekend. Whew. And I'm happy about it, although I got homework I got to get done before Sunday at 11:59. So y'all pray for your girl. But I figured in honor of it being Friday, in honor of it being the last day that I'm nudging with you live on this side, that I would do a good little throwback. How many of you know our veteran sisters will tell you Fridays in the circle used to be our days where we would rock our yellow. So I went digging in my closet and I found a little something yellow just as a kind of ode to our old festivities on Fridays. Now, I'm going to be nice. I won't call a fast today because I know some of y'all have already been to Starbucks. But if you haven't finished getting dressed, or if you're still figuring out and you're listening to me while you're getting dressed, feel free to grab yourself a little bit of yellow, throw it on, drop it in the collective, post a little selfie for us. Let us see you in all of your yellow and all of your glory. All right. Good morning, sisters. Good morning, Jalita. Good morning, Janelle. Good morning to all of my sisters. Make sure you all are greeting those Graham girls. Graham girls, y'all can go back to your church next week when our pastor's back. But we are excited about today, and I want to just finish off my assignment from Circle Pastor, which she gave me 16 and 17. So we are going to conclude at verse 17 today. And we're going to go right back to where we sort of left yesterday that led into where we are. And in that text in 2 Kings chapter 4, verse 17, I want to just highlight a few more things as we kind of bring this around the bend, as they say, okay? And it says, but the woman became pregnant, and the next year, about the same time, she bore a son. Sisters, for the rest of our conversation this morning, I want to center us around this idea of carrying well. Can you put that in the chat? Not only did the Shunammite woman carry, but she carried well. And that's an important distinction. Many women, many people will carry things, but do they carry it well? If you are truly going to carry your promise to fulfillment, to completion, to manifestation, sisters, there is one requirement, and it is to carry well. We've walked through this all week long. We started in the doorway. We talked about guarded hearts. We talked about wrestling and remaining. And on yesterday, I came back and we talked about this idea of moving from conception to carrying. And today, for my last nudge with you, I want to, before I turn the hot seat back over to our pastor, I want to close here on this one little thing in the text where it says that she bore a son. The text doesn't just say that she had a child. It says that she bore a son. And that detail, sisters, I don't want you to miss that. It is not random. In that particular culture, it carries enormous weight. And Circle Pastor started to touch on this, I believe, last month when we first introduced the study around the Shunammite woman. And if you would allow me, I just want to give you a little bit more context to what her bearing a son meant for her in that time, in that period. Is that all right, sisters? In ancient Israelite society, there were no social safety nets, right? There were no long-term care facilities. There was no social security. There was nothing put in place for women who did not have a man to cover her or to keep her or to ensure her security. A woman's long-term security was tied to a male covering, first starting with her father, then she would be married off to a husband, and eventually by having sons. If her husband died, a son ensured a few things for her. It ensured protection, it ensured inheritance rights, and provision in her old age. And lastly, it ensured preservation of the family name. Without a son, a woman's future in the Shunammite woman's time could be unstable and vulnerable. A son additionally preserved the family legacy. Sisters, I'm just trying to give you a little bit of context before I jump into where I want to be at today. Lineage passed through sons was property, identity, and family heritage that flowed through the male line. To bear a son meant that your husband's name would continue, your family line would not disappear, and your household had a future. For a great woman like the Shunammite, wealth did not guarantee legacy, but a son did. So, sisters, what God did in her was not just about opening up her womb to give her a baby to parade around town and say, look what I have, but it guaranteed that her legacy would be preserved. Another thing that her son did for her, because in her time, barrenness carried a social weight, it provided her with the ability that she was not a social stigma. It removed personal grief. And throughout scripture, we see that barrenness often symbolized delay, limitation, or reproach. Her son recognized that God had intervened and had removed the reproach off of her life. And then lastly, sisters, a son represented promise and power. In the biblical narrative, sons often represent strength, continuity, covenant, and divine intervention. This wasn't just a baby for baby's sake. This baby represented stability being restored, legacy being secured, and reproach being removed. And this is the part I like the best, sisters, that her future was guaranteed. And sisters, this thing that God is birthing in you is speaking specifically to all of those points, that your stability is being restored, that your legacy is being secured, that the reproach off of your life has been removed, and that your future is guaranteed. And prophetically, sisters, it's God proving that I didn't just bless your house with my presence, I blessed your house with permanence. Sisters, can you put that in the chat? God is not just blessing my house with presence, he's blessing it with permanence. And this is why I got to draw this to your attention, sisters, and why this all comes to fruition, because she didn't just conceive, she carried it well enough to deliver. Sisters, you have to move beyond the point of just receiving the promise, beyond the point of conception, but you've got to carry, and you've got to carry well. Carrying well determines whether or not we deliver healthy. And if you would allow me, sisters, can I park my car right there this morning in the text? Because not everything conceived gets carried properly. Not everything conceived gets carried healthily. And not everything conceived gets carried in a manner in which God has prescribed. Because conception, sisters, is spiritual, but delivery is what I told you yesterday. It's stewardship. How you carry matters, sister. How you steward the promise matters. And we will not be willy-nilly about God's promises over our life. No, sisters, we're going to carry well. The text says about the same time, and this lets us know that some time had passed from the time that she received the prophecy to the time that we're meeting her again in the text. It lets us know that she has gone through a process. And here's where I want to push on you this morning, sisters. What you carry must be handled with care. Can you put that in the chat for me? What you are carrying must be handled with care. When something is fragile, you don't just toss it around any old kind of way. When something is valuable, you don't expose it recklessly. When something is growing, you don't stress it unnecessarily. Sisters, you handle it with intention. You handle it with care. You package it up to preserve the value that it has. Come on, can I talk to my sisters, my bougie sisters in the room? Some of us that like to buy certain types of bags. And when you go to the store, they don't just have the bags any old kind of way. They're positioned in a way where they are protected, where they are covered. And after you finish your purchase, they give it to you wrapped up nicely in a box, and they usually provide you with something called a dust bag. And you don't just throw it in the closet any old kind of way. When you take it out, you make sure that you take it out carefully. And then when you put it back on the shelf, you place it back in the dust bag. Why? Because you're preserving its value. When something is growing, sisters, we don't stress it unnecessarily. We handle it with intention, and more importantly, we handle it carefully. The text says that about the same time, so it's emphasizing that some months have passed, sisters, that the process has unfolded. And here's where I want to stop right here. Development had happened quietly. Too many of us are getting frustrated because we are in the development process. And I want to tell you, sisters, but this is where I got excited about the text. She made it through. Tell somebody, I'm making it through this process. She didn't miscarry the promise. It didn't get interrupted. It survived the process. And for all of this to be true, sisters, what you carry, you must handle with care. Can you encourage that, sister, in the chat? What you carry must be handled with care. And since I've been in my sports analogy bag all week, I might as well wrap up the same way I've been giving it to you all week. Y'all forgive me again. In basketball, y'all know that was my sport. The point guard has one primary responsibility. It's to get the ball down the court and protect possession. Sisters, can you put that in the chat? Get the ball down the court and protect possession. Let's sit in this for a minute. Protecting possession. What does that mean, Pastor? When we protect possession, it's not about our emotion. It's about our stewardship. In sports, they say it like this: you can't score if you don't have the ball. And you won't have the ball if you don't protect the possession. Possession is about how well you steward what God has given you. Spiritually speaking, you cannot walk in fulfillment if you keep losing what God has placed in your hands. You can't walk in manifestation if you keep taking what God has placed in your hands and putting it back on the shelf because it got too hard. A point guard does not casually dribble the ball down the court. Nah, sis, nah. She keeps her head up. Can I tell a sister in the room this morning? Part of your problem is you're walking around with your head hung down like there's not a promise over your life. But I came to reignite something in you this morning and tell you, pick your head up. Y'all know that old song from the 90s. Tupac said, keep your head up. I know the weight has been heavy, but sis, keep your head up. See, the point guard understands in order for her to protect possession, she's got to keep her head up so that she can see what the enemy is bringing up against her, so she can keep an eye on her opposition. She shields the ball with her body. She uses her offhand to guard against the defender, knows when to slow the pace. She knows when to pass the ball. She knows when to pull it back, and she knows when it's time to reset the play. Can I tell some sister today, maybe, just maybe, it's time to reset the play. And the point guard understands this, that if she loses possession, she will lose momentum. Sisters, I can't afford to lose any more momentum. Hear me when I say this while I hold your hand. Some of us, are not under attack. We are just careless. Sister, everything that you're calling warfare is not warfare. It's because you have been careless. Some of us are not under attack. We are just undisciplined. Some of us are not under attack. We are just unfocused. Woo! And the enemy doesn't have to fight you if you keep fumbling yourself. Every time you rehearse doubt and disappointment, you are fumbling the ball, sisters. Every time you share sacred things with skeptical, silly people, you are fumbling and mishandling the ball. When you entertain conversations that contradict what God has said, you are fumbling the ball. Let me help my social media sisters. When you scroll yourself into comparison, you are fumbling the ball. That is a loose dribble. And here is the wild part, sisters. This enemy doesn't even have to work all that hard. He just reaches in and creates a turnover. Can I give you another sports analogy to go with this? Think about a quarterback in football. What is the job of the quarterback? To advance the ball. Sisters, your job in this season is to advance promise. Woo! The quarterback reads the field and reads defenses and gets an idea in mind of how to protect this possession, one play at a time. We call it moving the chains. You're not always going to get a Hail Mary pass and get a touchdown, but all we are focused on in this season is protecting possession and making progress. All the while, up against our quarterback, you have defensive coordinators whose job is to call plays to counteract what it is that the quarterback is doing. Can I help you, sisters? That coordinator sets up ideas and plays to attack the ball, to strip it from the one that's carrying, and to force a fumble. The enemy does the same thing to us, sisters. When you're carrying something so significant, distractions start to increase. The pressure rises. The hits come harder. And the opposition is studying you more closely. Why? Because what you're carrying matters. Can you tell that sister in the chat what you are carrying matters? And if the enemy can't stop the prophecy, he will try to knock it loose. Similarly, sisters, I got to rush on. In football, when a running back sees a defender closing in, what does the running back do? He wraps his arms around the ball, he tucks it into his chest, and he leans forward. Sisters, in this season, you're going to have to wrap your arms around what God has spoken. Tuck it in and begin to prepare yourself to lean in. Come on, tell that sister, lean in. You have to get ready to absorb the hit. Why? Because possession matters more than your comfort in this season. We can't afford, sisters, to fumble this promise. Sisters, protecting possession means that you may have to absorb some hits quietly. You may have to say less and do more. You may have to move differently. You may have to stop explaining yourself. But more importantly, you have to refuse to fumble what God has entrusted to you. And here's the sobering truth, sister. If the enemy can't abort it, and he can't, he will try to exhaust you into dropping it. Sisters, he can't cancel the prophecy, but he will try to fatigue your focus. But tell somebody, not this time. Not after everything I've been through. Not after the word has already done its work. Not after I made it through the worst season of my life. Not after God has spoken that about this time next year. Protecting possession looks like guarding your mouth, guarding your circle, guarding your thoughts, guarding your time, guarding your emotional resources, because what you're carrying, sisters, is not common. Can you put this in the chat? I'm protecting my possession. And I need you to say it with your chest. I will not fumble this time. Sisters, what have you been loose with that you need to tighten up? Because what we are not going to do in this season is fumble the ball. We are not dropping what heaven has entrusted to us. Sisters, are you handling what God gave you like it's precious? Are you carrying it like it's casual? Because you cannot carry this prophecy like it's a hobby. You can pick it up and put it down anytime. No, sis, you got to dig in. You got to lean in. You got to carry it like a point guard protects possession of the ball. You've got to carry it like a quarterback that protects it in the pocket. You've got to carry it like something you cannot afford to drop. And the reason the Shunammite woman made it to the about that same time is because she carried well. Tell that sister in the chat, you've got to carry well. And tell them, I will carry well. I won't carry casually. I won't carry emotionally. And even better, I won't carry inconsistently. But what I will do is I will carry well. Carry well means I will not overexpose my promise while it's in development. I won't let everybody speak into what God has spoken over me. I won't let fear handle what faith has conceived. And carrying well means that I am cautious with access. I'm adjusting my stress levels. I'm adjusting my pace because we understand that there is life here now, and life requires me to handle it with care. Sisters, can I be your big sister and talk to you for a minute? Please don't log off on me just yet. Just stay in here with me for a few more moments. Promise me you're going to love me after I say this, because I love you. But I got to tell you this. Sometimes, sisters, we lose things not because God didn't speak, but because we handled them recklessly. Woo! And that's the harder part to hear, because it removes the villain in the story. Woo, sisters, can I help us? It removes the dramatic warfare narrative. It removes that the devil's doing this to me. It removes your excuse that the enemy stole this from you. It changes your storyline. Woo! Sometimes nothing stole it. We just mishandled it. Sisters, and you're saying, nah, Pastor, not me. Let me help you out, because we've all mishandled seasons in our life. And let me tell you what that looks like. Reckless handling looks like this. You shared too soon. There are things that are still in spiritual incubation, and we parade them like they are fully formed. Every promise is not meant to be posted. Every promise is not ready for public consumption. Every conception is not for conversation. And you don't post a positive pregnancy test. Why? Because you understand that you are waiting on the doctor to confirm viability. You are waiting for the baby to have opportunity to develop and to grow. Why? Because these early stages are fragile, and you've got to handle it with care. Some of us, sisters, however, put up ultrasound pictures on timelines before we've even strengthened our spiritual womb to carry what God has deposited. Woo! And when opinions and doubt and jealousy creep in, we wonder why we feel shaken in what God has spoken. Here's another thing that you know: we've moved too fast. God spoke, and instead of stewarding, we get to sprinting. He said it's yours. And so we tried to force it into manifestation tomorrow. But a word from God does not cancel the fact that you still have to walk out this process. A promise doesn't eliminate pacing. You can turn a blessing into a burden by rushing its timing. Can I say that again? You can turn a blessing into a burden by rushing its timing. Some things don't fail because they weren't God. They failed because we accelerated what required cultivation. Sisters, in this season, we are not going to rush what needs to be cultivated. Here's another thing I want you to notice. Sometimes we expose too much. Not everyone clapping for you has the capacity to handle your call. Woo! There are rooms that require you to be silent. There are seasons that require privacy. There are divine moments that require covering. And you don't let everyone hold a newborn. Come on, sisters. Those of y'all that grew up with mamas and aunties like me, you don't let everybody touch your baby. You don't let everybody breathe on your baby. You don't let everybody kiss on your baby. You protect your baby from outside influence. Woo! Sisters, can I tell you, you've got to protect your promise from outside influence. Why? Because immunity has not been fully built in yet. Some of us have handed sacred things over to people who have spiritual germs. Woo! You called it transparency. I call it foolishness. And here's the last thing, sisters. We stress what needs rest. This one right here hurt me. Some promises don't need your anxiety. They need your alignment. I talked to you about that yesterday. You keep checking on it as if God needs your assistance. You keep talking about it. You keep overthinking it, trying to control the variables around it, trying to control the narrative. But growth doesn't respond to pressure, not from us, sisters. It responds to proper environment. It's like baking a cake, sisters. Where my bakers at in the room? I do a little bit of burning every now and then, but I need to talk to a real baker and cooker. Somebody like Ma Robin. Those of us that have had the benefit and the pleasure of eating Ma Robin's food, you know what I'm talking about. And her pound cake is bar none. As y'all say, it's top tier. And I need the bakers in the room to help me. Once you mix the ingredients, once you pour the batter and you put it in the oven, you close the door. Sisters, God is saying, close the door. You don't keep opening the oven every 2 minutes, checking on it. Because every time you open the door, come on, bakers, help me out, the temperature drops. The environment shifts. The rise gets interrupted, and what was supposed to be fluffy has collapsed. Woo! Sisters, could it be that you keep trying to check on what God's doing, and the environment keeps shifting, but not in a good way? Your rise is getting interrupted, and what should be built up by now has collapsed because you won't let God cook. Not because the recipe was wrong, not because the ingredients were bad, not because the promise won't come to pass, but because you wouldn't let God cook. Some of us don't ruin things with our rebellion. We ruin it with our impatience. We ruin it with our lack of waiting. We ruin it with our restlessness. And some of us keep opening up the oven on what God is doing. We keep checking. We keep posting. We keep talking. We keep forcing confirmation. Tell your sister, let it cook. Shut the door and let it cook. Let God do what he's doing. You have to stand on the word that he that has begun a good work. Woo, sisters, I want to run. He will complete it. He will perform it. Let him cook, sisters. And the constant exposure disrupts your process. Sisters, can I help you? You can love something to death so much that you won't let it breathe. Or you won't let it cook. And you've heard the saying, a watch pot never boils, not because it won't boil, but because impatient makes it feel like it's taking forever. And here's the hard truth, sister. Growth needs heat and time. Growth needs consistency. Growth needs a closed door sometimes. And sisters, I got to tell you, stop opening those doors. Shut the door. If he put it in there, trust the temperature, and more importantly, trust his process and let it rise. Can I say this carefully, sisters, as I rush to my close? My God, give me just a few more minutes. Mishandling doesn't mean that you weren't worthy. Oh God, it means you weren't ready. And readiness is not about your desire. It is about your discipline. If God gives you something weighty, you must grow arms strong enough to carry it. If he gives you something delicate, you must grow hands gentle enough to hold it. And so God has to develop the capacity in you to handle what he's given you. Here's the question for you, sisters. Was it warfare or was it recklessness? Woo! And if we are being honest, some of us have prayed for restoration when what we really needed was correction. But sisters, I love that there's grace for this. The fact that you are still here means God did not revoke his promise, that God has not disqualified you, but he's teaching you how to carry well. Because this time, sister, tell somebody this time, I won't share too soon. This time, sisters, I won't rush his pace. This time, sisters, I will handle holy things like they are holy. Woo! The Shunammite woman, she carried quietly, faithfully, patiently, and at the appointed time, she delivered. Sisters, I got to tell you that. That's where I wanted to land today. If you carry patiently, if you carry faithfully, at the appointed time, you will deliver. Sisters, I need you to handle this promise with care. Heaven has stamped this on your life today. Fragile does not mean you are weak. It means that what you're carrying is valuable. And here's what we've learned from our Shunammite sister. She was guarded in the doorway. She wrestled with the word. She wasn't emotionally perfect, just like many of us. She carried anyway. And sister, if you don't hear anything else I've said to you this week, I need you to pick up the ball and carry it anyway. You don't have to be fearless to carry well. You just have to stay aligned. And I need you to hear me. You are closer than you think. If it's still growing, it's still alive. And if it's still alive, it's still possible. So don't fumble now. Don't self-sabotage. Don't self-sabotage now. Don't grow careless now. Sisters, carry well. This week wasn't about me trying to hype you up, but it was about me getting your focus on stewardship. If God spoke it, sisters, protect it. If he planted it, nurture it. If he conceived it, and he did, I told you this yesterday, cooperate with it. Because what you carry isn't just a blessing. It is the evidence that God did not lie and that he will fulfill every promise. Sisters, let's pray. Father, I thank you for every word that you have spoken to us this week. Thank you for every heart that you have opened, every cycle that you have interrupted. Oh God. Every promise that you conceived in us. Father, my prayer for my sisters today is that you teach us to carry well. Guard our hearts. Don't let us speak out of feelings and raw emotion. Guard our emotions, God. Guard our environment. Help us not to mishandle what we are carrying. Help us, God, to be disciplined and trusting in you. And what you will do in us, you will perfect. You will perform every word spoken over us. Give us wisdom, God, not to be impulsive, not to be impatient. And give us what we need, God, to make it through our process all the way to delivery. We trust you. We thank you. We give you glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen, sisters. I'm over my time. I got to go, but I want to leave you with this. And this time, sisters, we will not fumble what heaven entrusted to us. I love you. God bless you.
Sister Circle. Yeah. Sister Circle. Screaming out. Sister Circle. Yeah. Sister Circle. Screaming out. Screaming out.
Between a rock and a hard place, looking for somewhere to call a safe space, where women crowd around and say it's okay. They all about their action, so they gon' pray.